basketball team. I grew up in Scranton, North Dakota, graduated from there, played football at NDSU. And then once I graduated, I've been teaching and coaching in a few different places, but most of my time's been spent in West Fargo coaching basketball. So that's what I do now.
I'll ask you some questions then. Okay.
All right.
What is your favorite sport?
Um, it's hard to pick one favorite. Growing up, in college, I played football and it was great. But now that I'm coaching basketball, I enjoy it tremendously. There's so many ways to get kids involved, and you get to really know these kids that you coach. And the game is always changing. It's changing so fast that it's fun to keep up with it and see all the new things that pro teams are doing, college teams are doing, Euro teams are doing. So I'd say, since I coach basketball, I'll say basketball, but really basketball and football are right up there neck and neck.
Who are some of your favorite pro and college sports teams?
Well, like I said, I played for NDSU, so that's number one. I'll always be loyal to them. Football, basketball, uh, track, volleyball, you name it. They have such a great program. I love that. When I was younger, I was a big Nebraska Cornhuskers fan, especially in the 90s when they were winning national championships and running option. That was great. And then on the college basketball side, I've liked Kansas for a long time. I know a lot of people do, so that's nothing crazy, but I like the college game a lot. Watching UConn play. Um, I'm excited to watch Iowa play this year with Ben McCollum as their new coach. He's going to bring a lot of excitement to the Big Ten. As far as pro teams, I grew up a Vikings fan. Um, then I kind of moved away for a little bit and I didn't watch them, so I don't follow them quite as much as I used to. The only Minnesota team that I am a diehard fan of that I'll never quit are the Twins, even though they're terrible. I love the Twins. So all these videos coming up lately with the '91 World Series have been awesome to watch, and I remember that was my first sports memory, really, of professional sports was the '91 World Series. So I'll always love the Twins.
What do you think of the new manager they hired?
Uh,
I've kind of heard a lot of different things. I don't watch a ton of pro baseball, so I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't watch a ton of it too. I love baseball games. They're just fun to go to because it's just relaxed and you get, the right amount of breaks and things just flow really nicely. So I like going to games. Um, we'll see what the new manager does. Whoever can help him win, I'm a fan of. So they didn't win too much in Pittsburgh with him, but maybe this guy will be okay.
Yeah. Okay, these questions will be about your team kind of in basketball and stuff.
Okay.
What do you think your team's biggest strengths and weaknesses will be this basketball season?
Um, well, our strength, we have quite a few of them. Will be pretty good, in my opinion. So I think one of our great strengths is we have a lot of experience winning coming back. So our senior leadership and even some younger kids who played in the state tournament last year, um, will be counted on to lead us and help us win games. I think we're going to be a very good three-point shooting team. That is where we're going to be really hard to guard because most of my guys that I put on the floor can shoot the three, and then they can also drive by you. So we're going to be a tough team to guard. And then I think our weaknesses or some things we'll have to struggle with is we need to really improve our rebounding. We are not very tall, not very long. So our shorter guards have to rebound so we can get in transition and do those kind of things. And then on the other side of it, every team is different, and we had some really good leadership last year that left, and that was very team oriented. So we'll see if we can get our older kids and younger kids to orient around winning number one, and then they can chase stats later.
What do you define as success or a goal for your team this season?
Um, Success is for for my coaching career, especially as the head coach there, this will be year 9, I think, as the head coach. It's always been trying to max out our potential. I think we've only done it once or twice, and both of those years we were playing in the state title game. Because there's always another level to go to. So I'd like us to get as close to our potential as possible by the end of the year, and play well in March. I think that would be it. And last year we really played well at the end. We were closer to that potential in the last few games. It just took us a long time to get there. That's why we were only 13 and 14 on the year, but played in the state semifinals. Um, so yeah, I think a lot of it just comes from, can we get as close to our potential as possible? We'll be a very talented team. So there's no doubt that we'll win some games and probably win more than we lose. But you can win games and still play bad. I'd like to play well the entire year and just keep getting better.
Who are some of the key players on your team that you'll be relying on this season?
Um, I think it starts with our a couple returning best scorers. Beckett Fowl is one of them. He was all conference last year. He's a tremendous point guard. He shoots it well, gets to the basket well, and actually had a really good summer playing for the Sanford program. And I think he was the team's leading rebounder. So he's only a 6'1" guard. So it's really impressive that he was able to do that. Really fun player to watch. Aiden Samick shot 44% from 3-point last year. Something like that is insane number. He's a hard kid to guard too. He'll be important. He was our leading scorer last year, actually. So he had a great year. Sam Glant is a returning 2-year letterman, so he played a lot as a sophomore, and he'll have a good year too. Hawkins Seymour, another senior, who started every game last year, played some pretty critical minutes to get us to a state tournament his sophomore year. So those 4 guys are the core that have been playing varsity a long time, and then I have a few guys that'll be new to the lineup this year who are seniors. Aiden Simic is another one. He's a good player, good defensive player, smart with the ball. Rory Sanger's a good one. Jake Stegman. Um, Owen Scoville, very athletic kid, had a good football year despite some injuries, but he's very athletic. A lot of guards. They're kind of all the same. And then on the post side, we have Wyatt Knutson, who played a lot of posts last year, possibly another kid named Steph Booth. They're both sophomores, but they're 6'5" and 6'8" respectively. So we have a lot of talent walking around our halls right now. It's going to be a challenge for even those really good players to see the floor.
What side of the ball do you think is more important, the offense or the defense?
Um, I get a lot of crap for this, but I will say that offense is more important because I've never seen a big game in basketball won 10-9. Like, you have to score baskets. You can't just let other people score either defensively. So yes, you have to be tenacious on defense and be locked in. But if you can't score in basketball, winning becomes so hard. All the AA teams now are the good ones are scoring in the 80s, high 70s and 80s every night. So if you can't put it in the hole, if you can't make threes, if you can't, make your layups and your free throws consistently, it's really hard to win. So I'm going to say offense, even though I love coaching defense and I think it's great to dominate another team's offense when you're on the defensive side of the ball. For me, I I think you just have to score. The team that scores the most wins.
Got a lot of or player questions, so.
Yeah, go ahead.
But here's one. For you as a coach, if a game is tied in the fourth quarter, who would you have take the final shot?
Can I say Steph Curry?
Yeah, that's who I would have because I like how he shoots his threes.
Yeah. No,
He's really good though. So.
he is. My team, so I have a lot of guys who I would trust to shoot and make that final shot. And I think with the experience we have coming back, they understand that they have to make the right decision to get the best shot we can. I think Beckett, Aiden, Hawken, Sam, all those guys understand that. And all those guys have made winning shots in the past and have made big plays. Um, if anything, I would like to get just strategically wise, I'd like to get the ball going towards the basket. So either on a drive or a post touch, and then let the person going towards the basket make his decision out of that. So maybe he shoots the layup and makes it, or dumps it off to a post player for a dunk, or maybe we kick it out for a three, depending on if we're down two, down three, what's going on. So I think that's kind of it's more like the decision making, and I have a lot of good kids, especially the point guard back at foul, that they make good decisions with the ball. So I have a luxury having so many kids that I trust at the end of the game.
Okay, so I got the hoopster, and I'm going to ask a few questions from it. Okay, kind of
Yep. Go ahead.
curious on some of your predictions or what you think. So you guys are picked second behind Horace. Horace looks really good, though. They returned quite a bit of good players, I think. So.
Yep.
But who would you predict? I mean, I'm sure you predict Horace near the top because of their returning, but who else besides them and you guys do you think could be pretty good?
I think Cheyenne's going to be pretty tough. They have a lot of length, and they have a really good player in Kyson Keller, who's like a 6'5" wing player who can make threes and get to the basket and score that way. And they have another really good post player, and I think it's Bernstein. I think is his last name. He's a lefty. He's really tough under the basket, and we'll have a hard time keeping him from affecting the game too much. So I think Cheyenne will be good. Davis is always good. Bart Manson, maybe the best coach in the state. The guy is fantastic. His teams always score it. They always compete at tournament time. The Rinky kid from Davies is pretty good, and they have some other kids. Cam Miller, he's a point guard for them. He's a nice player, and they just always have shooters, and they always have some length, and they're just a tough team to beat because they don't beat themselves. So I'd say those two teams will be at the top. And then it's kind of a wild card after that. Not really sure what Shanley has coming back. I think they'll be better than last year. And South has a new coach, North has a new coach, so they'll be learning some things. And then the Grand Forks schools, it's always hard playing in Grand Forks. So the the double A side on the EDC and probably the WDA too. I like that we've gone three classes because for our level, it makes every night way harder to win. There are no easy games anymore. So everyone is going to play their best defense. They're going to make shots on you, and you can't have an off night or you're not going to win in the EDC.
I was going to ask you what you thought of the three-class system, if you liked it or
Yeah. And again, I like that all of our games have become harder now. It's not fun. It's not really fair when West Fargo that has 1,500 kids is going to play Valley City that has, 400 or 500, something like that. It's just not, it wasn't fair. Not that Valley City couldn't give us a run, and they did some years, but just consistently, we
yeah.
usually have more talent, more size. So I
And
think at that level, and then there were some schools when it was two classes, with the Class B, like your Kindreds and your Central Casses, they were going to play schools with an enrollment of, 75 kids. And that wasn't really fair or fun either because when you're a basketball player, you want to play all the time. And as a coach, if you're winning by 50, you aren't going to play your best. It's just not, fair. So you pull those kids and then, the better kids don't get a test and don't get a game. So I think going three classes evened everything out really nicely, and I like where we're at right now. I think they should keep it with enrollment as it is. I don't think they need to change things based on who's having success and who's winning here. I think the levels are right where they're supposed to be with the single A on the east side, anyways, with Wahpeton, Devils Lake, Kindred, Central Cass, Valley City, Thompson. There's enough competition there where they can stay where they're at, and the lower levels can figure things out after that. So I kind of like how we're doing it now, and I would hope we would stay with what we're doing.
I like how in the lower divisions they have like those state qualifier games because it brings a little more
Oh yeah,
excitement at those levels too. Because when they just
the
had the
state.
region championship, they were getting one team, and some regions weren't as good as other ones. You want the best eight teams at the end.
Yep,
That's
I
what I think.
100% agree with that. When I was playing in high school, in Scranton, we had some good teams. We actually beat Hazen in 2000 to go to state. That was a good team too. But our region in the Southwest was really good for many years, and we probably could have sent two or three teams even to state had we had this kind of setup. So I think the play-in games for Class A and Class B are the best things ever because your season, you have one more game, and they've been competitive games. I mean, I think the crowds have been big, and it's a win or go home mentality, and it's a lot of fun to see. And I even went to a couple 2 years ago just to see how they were, and it was a blast. So I love it.
I've been to regional tournaments, but never to the state tournaments, and I'd like to probably go to one once.
Yeah, they're fun. Bismarck is where the double A is this year, and they host a great tournament. So if you can get down there, you should go. It'll be good basketball.
Yeah, I might try to make it then. Gonna ask one more thing, but now I gotta find where it was. I mean, I don't know how much. Do you guys play any of the teams in the WDA much? Which teams do you
Yeah.
play out there?
So to start the year, we do some crossover games. I know we're hosting Dickinson High, who we played in the state tournament last year. They're going to want to beat us because we beat them, and that'll be a good game. The Glauser kid is really there's a lot of good players at Dickinson. They can all shoot it, and they'll be tough. And then the next night we host Minot. Jeremy Branson, new coach there, and they're
Yeah,
always going to be well coached. That's the first weekend we open with those two schools, which isn't going to be a cakewalk at all. And then the next week we play Legacy, so they'll also be good this year. And I think it'll be three tough games to start the year. But then we get into our conference season after that, and we don't play any of the West teams. I think our other non-conference games are Fergus Falls in Minnesota, and then Moorhead, which we play them every year, and that's always a tough game too.
yeah. Mine not because Jeremy Brandt used to coach in Beulah, so I kind of seen it quite a bit of him.
Yeah,
So he'll have a good team. Probably not as I think they graduate quite a bit last year, but
they did. They lost some good players, but their JV was good too, and they have kids. They have length, and they have some shooting that I just answered the question, but I value offense. So if you have shooters, you're really hard to guard. So they'll be good.
yeah. I don't remember any other questions I had. Think of them later, and I'll be like,
Yeah, that's all right. We got time. Yeah, the WDA is going to be a tough race too. Out west with Bismarck High and Bismarck Century, probably the top two teams out there. Century has almost everyone back, and they're the defending state champs. So I don't know how you beat them, but Wilhelm can do it with his system, with his pressing system. So those two teams will be solid, and I think again Dickinson will be a tough team. Minot North will be better. Yeah, the league in Double A is really good, so it'll be it'll be wild this year for following basketball.
these will be probably the final two questions that I have, unless you have any. But what made you get into being a head coach or a coach?
Um, so when I was playing at NDSU, playing football, I kind of I really liked the strategy of the game. I wasn't the best player and I didn't play all that much, but just being coached by just amazing coaches, whether that be Craig Bowl, Gus Bradley, who's in the NFL, Todd Wash, who's in the NFL. Coach Palczewski was there my last year. He came as his GA year. Um, just having guys like that around you makes you kind of want to be that way and give back and teach the same lessons that you were taught to other kids and give them those advantages. So I love um, that part of coaching is just working with the kids and helping them to realize their potential. And then it also fills a competitive streak. I think everyone who played sports and likes sports has some competitiveness in them. So um, that's way I get to fill my bucket up with competing is coaching and trying to beat, the other coaches that are out here. Because there's a lot of good ones that you have to be really good to beat these guys, to beat, a Bart Manson coach team and a Tim Brandt coach team. And it's tough and it's a lot of fun. And then you go out west, you got Wilhelm and Coach Mattern at Century. Again, tough, tough teams to beat. So just that challenge every day, I think, is a lot of fun with coaching. And between that and being with the kids, it's a blast.
What hobbies or interests do you have outside of coaching and teaching?
Well, the biggest thing right now, and I'm not coaching her, but my daughter is playing volleyball. She's a senior, and she'll be going to UND next year to play. So that's been a lot of fun, just watching her develop as an athlete and a volleyball player. So I've enjoyed that quite a bit. Um, eh, I'm big into just getting outside, so I like to go hiking and I used to hunt quite a bit when I was younger, but with coaching football, there's really not a lot of time anymore, and the hunting out in the Red River Valley is not as good as the hunting out west, so I miss out on that and I give that up. But yeah, just reading books, getting outside, just doing normal human things that sometimes we forget to do because we're on our phone all the time. I like doing those things and getting away. So watch my daughter, like I said, and just try and do things that help you relax and slow down and get into the world.